December. Christmas is here. How are you? Karibu sana. This is Morning Cafe. I'm surprised that we're still here up until the 23rd, but and the 20. Yes, we're going to finish tomorrow, the 23rd. But I keep saying it's because we love you so much, and sometimes we just want to have that conversation. When you are here, this is technically your life. So moving away from it to something else becomes a difficult thing, and so we're excited. It does not make us, feel a little bit low, but yes, we're easing up just to align ourselves to the season as we celebrate this. And from those moments of carols, we get into different conversations, continue to celebrate our students having, performed so well in comparison to what played out in the previous examinations. And therefore, we say congratulations to them. There's lots of different cases that played out, some good, some bad. And that is what we reminisce on. But that should be towards the last minutes of the program. Later on, we'll be having an education specialist. Welcome on board. This is Morning Cafe, and my name is Linda Lela. It's good to have you and as well interact with you. Let's just have conversations. Let's talk about all that is happening right here. The hashtag, as always, is Morning Cafe at Linda_Lela at TV47KE. Also, we'll be talking about the hits and misses of the year and what to work on that is come 2023 with a specialist who's a counselor. Sometimes it can get you drained to imagine that this is what I anticipated, this is what I planned for, this is what I envisioned as, what were the plans of the year, but I have not been able to successfully achieve them. And so as you sit down, you take that book, you take that notebook, you look at your cards, you look at some of the places where you had incorporated what you need to do for the year, and then you realize that really maybe you've managed to achieve only 2 out of 10. It can get you feeling a little bit low, but it's never too late, and it's not always the end. So as we have this conversation, we ask for ourselves to just come together, reminisce on what the events of the year have been, but most importantly, look at what we have achieved, what we have not achieved, and then definitely we decide what is the way forward. 100 days into the Ruto government, just what has he achieved? Do we have the hope that we have a better country tomorrow? These are the conversations that we are having. And the beauty of reviewing on what it is that you have done is the fact that then you're able to make your tomorrow better. So the counselor will be walking us through that. And so before we get to that, allow us to look at the papers. The papers are typically talking, KCP, yes, it's KCP or KCSE. It's KCP examinations. And yes, as we also wait for the others to finish, some of them who are doing their KCSE are still in school, winding up on this very process. It's interesting to note that, well, amidst the crash program, we are almost getting there. And so January, perhaps the calendar or the school calendar will be back to normal. The Daily Nation, the People Daily, and the Standard newspaper, and like I've said, you find that 3/4 of the conversation on the papers this morning is about the examinations and how our students then did us proud. The Daily Nation, Form 1 selection will be completed by January 16th. This is according to the CS for Education, Ezekiel Machogu, who announced that yesterday. That is right after, this conversation of releasing the examinations. And of course, Lewis Omondi Otieno of St. Peter's Mumias Primary in Kakamega and Robinson Makoha 2022 KCPE class with 431 marks. Those ones that took the lead. The candidates will join secondary school. That is next year, and the minister broke with tradition and declined to reveal the top performers, citing what he termed unhealthy competition. That is a story captured on the front page, expounded on page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 14, 16, 17, and 18. Isn't that the entire paper? And of course, those ones that sat for the examinations appreciating and celebrating this, those ones that did not as well, having their moments, to celebrate, of course, the families that managed to put their students up there. And I think for us here is also just an aspect of celebration and acknowledging what it is that, these students have done. Amid the tough times, the crash program, you will agree with me that it was extremely tough for them because of the program that, they really did not even get time to prepare, as the others have had that privilege. Remember, this year we have conducted 2 sets of examinations examinations, and therefore really not an easy one, but then we appreciate these ones that have made us proud. And of course, this year's exam candidates were not ranked, as I have said, but equally they performed so well. And so that's technically it. Like I said, we'll be having an education specialist that will help us unpack some of these educational matters that are playing out. And like I have said, you find that this finds itself on almost all the pages, and aside from then what is happening on the international scene. And of course, the festivities and the mood is here as well, and across the global fraternity it is all about Christmas. So we shelve what the Daily Nation speaks of. Of course, the Standard newspaper speaks of goodies. Ruto pledges jobs to poll losers. Interesting, a story captured on page 13. Whether it is in a quest to tame them, or whether it's that acknowledgement that he's the president for all, well, is not something that we might not that we might understand so well. But then again, we also appreciate that move. I mean, like they always say, the government is big, and therefore sometimes it's in order to appreciate even those ones that did not vote for you. But we also acknowledge the fact that the president has indeed gone out of his way to reward loyalty, to reward those ones that were his staunch supporters, at least according them positions on different quarters, and that is on the political scene. Ruto promises Kenya Kwanza poll losers jobs. Oh, this is interesting. It is definitely those ones that are sit in Kenya Kwanza first before he goes to the other parties. And so the likes of, former Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala, who put up a proper fight, and Washiali as well here, of course, have been promised to maybe be slotted in some CAS jobs, and so much more positions that are set and are open. As they would say, the president is still trying to put his government in order. Sonko, on the other side, has been acquitted in 20 million graft case. Interesting. He was accused of receiving kickbacks from companies that traded with City Hall. But then again, of course, the county boss, so the former county boss, is however not off the hook. He has 2 other pending cases. How they will proceed is a question of wait and see. Governor Kihika distances herself from recruitment of chief CEOs. And also remember, at the level of the counties, it's not been all easy, because then these leaders are trying to make adjustments and also setting their executive, some of them being challenged at the level of the courts. But yes, we wait to see just how these then activities or these counties are able to swing to action for purposes of posterity and for purposes of making it all good. And back to the front page, it's all about the KCPE examinations, country's finest. Western boys tied to top KCPE examination. And of course, 431 for Fuaro Makoha Robinson, as well as Otieno Lewis Omondi. Congratulations to this gentleman. And also the ladies going out there to as well prove that it is possible. And it's been a moment of triumph for these ones that really scored good. And of course, an aspect of improvement registered in this year's performance compared to the last one, and in line with government policy, all the learners are promised lots in secondary schools, and congratulations to them. As well, on the Standard newspaper, page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 speaks of this examination. Same applies to the People Daily. It's about that as well. Junior secondary guidelines to be in January, and of course, upon that declaration of the examinations, it's a very important moment and historic moment for these students as they transition to the next phase of life in terms of education. But equally, not to forget the fact that there's so much that is playing out also in the lives of their parents. It's been a moment of crash programs, tough economic times, but we certainly hope that by the time it's January, then we'll have gotten back to normalcy, or at least some essence of normalcy, in terms of, first of all, addressing the problems that sit in the education sector, also just getting to make sure that we have the calendar back to normalcy, and then we have our students then making the necessary adjustments, especially with a competency-based curriculum, and KPSEA students also waiting for the examinations, which the Ministry of Education says would take a little bit longer, because first of all, it's the first. And so these adjustments are necessary so that we also get to know what plays out for them to proceed to the next stage. Kenyans borrow about 10 billion from Hustler Fund as savings grow to about 500 million. The Hustler Fund is here, and they say that they will also make the necessary adjustments to make sure that the limit does not stand to only 50,000. But most of the Kenyans who are able as well to go out there and take more and as well repay then do have the advantage. It's exactly 29 minutes past the top of the hour. Allow us to take a quick short break and we shift gears to a different set and have a very candid discussion pertaining to the hits and the misses of 2022 in terms of resolutions, in terms of plans for an individual, for an entity, and most importantly, looking forward to 2023 on what then you would be advised by a counselor, by a financial, advisor as to how you manage this. So we take a quick short breather and we come back.
Maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
Authentic, natural, planned. Transforming. Endless benefits. Slaty, purely Kenyan. Buy now on Jumia or Amazon.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Well, it's that time of the year again where we wish you all the merry. It's come to the end of the year, and Kilimo Diaries would like to say thank you for allowing us to come to your farm. We've been to Meru County, Nakuru County, Machakos County, and many other counties. And with all that, we want to say thank you from my team here at Kilimo Diaries, the camera people, my producers, and even I would like to say thank you. And until next year, do have a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2023.
Of soft living. Indeed, love is a beautiful thing.
Will you marry?
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. And as I have said, we're taking it a little bit easy, but it's not easy, especially when you're about to hear what a conversation we'll be having with Sam Vidambu. Sam Vidambu is a life therapist, and therefore, when we get such people in this space, sometimes we say, let's take advantage of them. Waking up in the morning and deciding that perhaps you need to go and seek the services of a life therapist or a counselor, is something that is so rare. But as time goes by, with the pressures of life, with the desires of life, sometimes you meet them, some you don't meet. You always are advised to seek professional advice, because then at your own level, maybe with friends, you might not be able to achieve so much so in terms of making sure that you streamline your life. So having a moment with a professional is very, very important as we have these conversations. I'm sure you're at that space, as Alia said, where you say, this is what I had planned for the year. Most of the times, there are people who are lucky enough to be disciplined enough to say, you know what, by the time it is December, I'll have done this, that, and true to it, you find that they have done it. There are instances where you plan, but then the pressures of life and the difficulties of life would not allow for you to achieve some of these things. Well, it's not always the end. 2023 is coming, and you can be hopeful for that. So this morning, as I have said, we'll be looking at the hits and misses, and perhaps just generalize and look at perspectives of individuals as well as entities. And as I have said, Sam is here with us to speak to us to that very important matter. And before we even get to speak to people and just get to hear their experiences, we start with you. And Salimia Watu, as you tell us whether you had any resolutions and whether you've achieved all of them.
So just like you've said, I am happy to be here today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for hosting me. It's my second time to be here. I was here 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I am happy to be back here.
Right.
So even me, I had my own resolutions. One of my resolutions was to make more money. And of course,
perhaps everybody's resolution.
Every person would wish to have more money. And I can say that I think because I like working with numbers, I have achieved 80% of what I wanted.
Oh, that's good.
And I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm really happy of that.
Right.
And also another one of my resolutions for 2022 was starting a TikTok account. It looks, for some people, it might look like...
And you're big on TikTok. You are big on TikTok.
Yeah.
By the time it was January, TikTok was that big as well.
It was not.
It wasn't.
Actually, my TikTok account, that resolution of starting a TikTok account, I didn't begin it. Okay, it was one of my resolutions.
It wasn't January, like January.
Yes. Actually, if you look at it, I began posting most of my videos around 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
So I ensured that by the end of this year, that resolution I had set at the beginning of the year is realized.
Wait a minute. So there's a way that you can speak of year's resolution, New Year's resolution, but somewhere along the way, maybe mid-year, you also come up with other resolutions and you say, by the time it's December, then I'll have achieved this. And so it's in order to have resolutions even quarterly, halfway the year.
Of course, you can change the plan, but you can't change the target.
Okay.
Because what you want is the target. So the plans to achieve that target is what can change. Of course, you can have more. You can have more resolutions that you're chasing. But for me, most of the things that I always look at, I like working with numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of TikTok, I think I'm doing well.
You're doing well. 3 weeks ago, and the words there, and the moments of reflection, and the message, and as well the advice, pretty much being received well.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so that's good. Let's talk about resolutions. Just what exactly are resolutions? Because then we are looking at this year, and some of us are looking forward to see what next year will be all about. I remember there are instances it was so serious that you literally sit down and say, now this is the year it has gone. Tick this, tick out, tick this, and all that. And then as well, come January, you will have written all this, and it's a serious business. Sometimes you just want to put it somewhere on the wall so that constantly it reminds you of that. What are resolutions? Just how important are they?
You can't achieve anything that you don't want. That is what I always tell people, because mostly I mentor people, I train people, I coach people. And I always tell people that you cannot achieve anything that you don't want.
Yeah.
I will use an example of a football match. Let me assume, because every person knows Cristiano, Messi. Messi won the World Cup.
Well, at least we were watching the World Cup the other day.
Now, when you look at someone like Messi, Messi he scored, I think, 6 goals. Now, before Messi scores a goal, because all the goals that he scored, all of them, he used his leg. There's none of them which he used his head.
The head or...
Now, can you score a goal without shooting? You can't, of course. You like the way we are saying he didn't use his head, he used his leg.
Yes.
There's no way he could have scored without shooting.
Right.
So someone has to look at the end. What do I want to achieve? That is the target.
End goal?
The end goal. And then now, after you have the end goal, you now come back. How can I achieve that? So you begin from the end first, and then you come back. So resolutions is the end. That is the end target, what someone wants to achieve at the end of the year. And just like you've said, maybe someone has not achieved their target. So what should they do? Of course, we have the lessons. there are lessons which have been learned across along the way.
Yeah.
And that is what really matters. How have these lessons changed you so that whatever you didn't achieve this year, you can achieve next year. And of course, I have come down with some 10 lessons which personally I have achieved. I mean, I have learned this year.
Right.
And I believe most of the people have also learned the same lessons this year.
Or could we share some of these lessons? Because they could be helpful. And sometimes we like to generalize. I don't know why I find it hard to say the word generalize. Generalize. Yes. So sometimes you want to look at them in such lenses. And even at this point, while it might look like it's an easy thing that you are in charge of your life, you get to the end of the year and you realize that you really do not know what is going on, you know, in what it is that you pick as lessons, in what it is that you had set as goals and all that. And so sometimes listening to the experiences of people would help you trigger that thing in your mind, and then you're like, oh, actually, I went through this, and maybe this was a lesson without me knowing that it was. So what are some of these that you speak of?
So some of the 10 lessons. Number one is one of the lessons I've learned this year. It is, as a person, you should not fit in. You should stand out. Okay. So you have to be different from other people.
But just how different? I mean, okay, well, naturally we are all different, and so if we are talking about fitting in and standing out, are there no instances in life that you will actually be required to fit in? Because then you realize that the space, while it could be big, sometimes it appears small, and there are very many people, but you just want to be on the table. So you find ways of fitting in instead of saying that I am here on the table to stand out.
Okay, I want to give you an example of the way I've been talking about my TikTok account.
Yes.
If you look at my TikTok account, most of my videos, I am not facing the camera. If you're very keen, you realize that I'm not really looking at the camera.
Maybe my producer should look for some of these videos so we can confirm whether what then Sam says is true.
Yeah, so people have been telling me, some people,
yes,
Sam, why don't you,
face the camera?
Yeah, face the camera. But then I was like, I'm just doing something different. Because every other person who is doing videos on TikTok, most of them are looking at the camera.
So different doesn't have to be so big.
Doesn't have to be so big. You just have, Linda, it takes so little to avoid being average.
Okay.
That is something I've come to realize. In this world we are living right now, every person is average. And most of the people who are average are the ones who are fitting in.
Yes.
So for you to stand out,
do something different.
Just something different.
Very little.
Very little. For example, if you're starting a business, right now many people are copying each other. I don't know if you've realized that.
Yes.
If you go to a place, someone has opened a shop. Next day in the morning, another person has opened.
The same thing.
Selling the same product at the same price.
After all, they say nothing is new under the sun.
Yes. So you have to become deep. What are you adding? Or what are you doing that nobody else is doing? So for me, like my TikTok, I just said, no, I'll not face the camera. I'll try to. So my camera is there. I'll have to look at an angle.
Okay.
So you have to stand out. You can't fit in and stand out at the same place.
Okay.
It's either you're in or you're not in.
All right.
You can't be in and out at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, so number one thing I've learned is people should learn to stand out. Just do something different. For example, at the workplace, maybe people are coming, every person comes at 8 or 2.
Yes.
Why can't you try coming at 7:45?
Okay.
And
constantly someone will be saying by 7:45 you will find some here.
Yeah. So that's your culture. It's you. So
does it not also make you predictable? And is predictable good?
There's nothing wrong with being predictable.
And
again, for example, every day coming at 8 or 5, you're again predictable.
You're predictable as much. So you're better off coming a little bit earlier, you're on time and predictable in a good way.
I would rather you're predictable in a positive way than being predictable in a negative way.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Lesson number 2.
So number 2 is people should not focus on their problems. Okay. They should focus on the solutions.
Just how can you not focus on your problem? Sometimes again, you life therapists, you are making it sound like it's so easy. I mean, it cannot be that easy, can it be?
Now, I always say this. If it doesn't have a solution, then it's not a problem.
So it will definitely have a solution. And so you shouldn't focus on the problem itself, but finding the solution.
That is it. Most people look at their problems. Okay. They look at the deficiencies. They look at the lack. They look at the things they don't have. Instead of looking at what the world is giving them, what they can do with what they have. I always tell people, start from where you are. Use what you have and do what you can.
Okay.
So start from where you are. Every person has something. There's nobody who is just blank. Every person has something, the efforts, the experiences, that is what you have. You begin from there. It doesn't have to be about money. Of course, we will come to the issue of starting a business later,
Yes.
but of course, it doesn't have to be about money. Someone should focus on the solutions. What am I doing about it? It's not about what you're going through. It's about what you're doing about what you're going through.
Okay.
And that is what really matters.
All right, most of the people miss out on that.
Yeah, they miss out.
Okay.
So they look at their problems, they say, I'm broke, I don't have money, I don't have parents. So they look at the negative side of life instead of looking at the positive side of life. Okay, I don't have a mom, but I have experience. My father passed on, but he left me something small. I can begin from there. So you look at your solutions, not the problems. Yeah.
Amazing. Number 3. Perhaps we'll just go to 5. Yes.
Number 3 is don't do what you like, do whatever it takes.
Okay.
Most people, they're comfortable. That's about the comfort.
But now, what is this that we are always told, can you just be passionate about what you do? Is it not what you like that now you're doing when you're passionate about it?
So those are two things, about
Yes.
passionate and about liking what you're doing.
Yes.
For me, I would rather be passionate first. It begins from passion, then you love that passion.
Okay.
So you can't love a passion which you don't have.
Okay.
So it begins from the passion. And of course, number 4, the thing that I've learned is people should not manage time, but they should make time.
Okay.
Because a day has 24 hours
For everybody.
for every person. So we are working, most people who are employed, or even, okay, all of us are employed. Whether you're self-employed or you're being employed somewhere, all of us are employed.
Right.
So we have 8 hours for working. We go to work at 8, up to around 4,
Yeah.
in most cases. We sleep for 8 hours. Doctors say we should sleep for around 8
Which
hours.
we don't most of the time.
Most of the times we don't. So 8 hours for sleeping, 8 hours for work. That is 16. A day has 24 hours. 8 hours remain. So what matters is what do we do with the remaining 8 hours?
Okay.
So we should learn how to make time, not really managing time. Because if you manage, you'll start complaining there is no time.
So make time for what? Make time for friends, make time for family, make time for work, make time for making extra coin, or make time for what?
Make time for your resolutions. Because now we're talking
so
about
now we're
resolutions.
talking about resolutions.
The resolutions that you want.
Yes.
So what makes the difference? For example, if we have 2 people
Yeah.
who wants to lose weight, and these 2 people, both of them are employed. This person wants to lose weight from 140 to, let's say, 90. That is 50 kgs. Another person wants to lose weight from 130 to 80. Again, 50 kgs.
Okay.
At night, all of them are sleeping for 8 hours. All of them are employed, they work for 8 hours. These
Okay.
2 guys.
Yes.
So what will make the difference?
Is the other 8 hours.
The other 8 hours is what will determine if the resolution of losing 50 kgs is achieved or not.
Okay.
Yeah. So they should learn how to make time.
All right.
The next thing that they should do, they should not make excuses. They should make adjustments.
Okay.
Most people make excuses. You know, they live a life of excuses. I am going through this. I'm broke because of my mom. I am broke because of my sister. I left school because of my cousin. You know, so they make excuses instead of looking at how they can turn that, whatever they went through around, so that it can become their advantage.
Yeah.
You know. And then number 6 thing that I've learned is that people should focus on the mindset. People should have a positive mindset. So for you to achieve your target or your resolutions, you must have a positive mindset. Because everything begins from the mind. Yeah, that's what I always say.
Yeah.
I always say from the mind, we get the thoughts. From the thoughts, we get the words. From the words, we get the actions.
Right.
From the actions, we get the behaviors. Then from the behaviors, we get the character. From the character, we get the lifestyle. And of course, from the lifestyle, we get the life. Then from the life, we get someone's history.
Right.
So it always begins from the mind.
Okay.
So if someone has a way of changing their mindset, then they can achieve anything.
How often should you have some of these sessions, you know, with life therapists, with counselors, listening to them, so you get yourself on course? Because maybe it's just 10 out of 100 in terms of percentage that would have that discipline to do it individually.
Yeah, that's very true. When you hear from someone else, it makes a difference because they're telling you from experience. And you know, most of these things that we tell people, some of them we have experienced ourselves,
Yeah.
and also others we have listened to other people who have gone through these problems. So just like you've asked me, how frequently should someone listen to a therapist?
Yes.
As frequent as possible. That will be my answer. Because
They act as a reminder.
the holy books say faith comes by hearing and
And
hearing.
hearing. That's true.
So the more you hear, for example, Linda, if every day in the morning, I meet you every day in the morning, and then I tell you, okay, of course, this is an example, I hate you every day, like Every day at 7 in the morning.
Yes.
From-
I'm meeting this face that tells me
Yes.
how much they
They hate you.
me.
From 1st of January until 31st of December. Every day this person tells you, I hate you. Every day in the morning. You'll believe at the end of it all, you'll believe, yeah, I think, yeah, it's true. I think you've been telling me for the last 2 months. I think I now believe it. You should be hating me. Yeah. The same thing that could happen if someone tells you every day, I love you. So it happens the same way. So when you hear something more and more, it gets into your brain.
You know, someone told me that one of the reasons why we do not forget our names is because we are called every other time.
That is very true.
We are talking about our names every other time.
And
so you
that-
can forget anything else.
Actually, Linda, that's what I always tell students, because mostly I talk to high school students and I speak to also campus and college students. And one thing I always tell them is that repetition is the mother of retention.
Yes.
So if you as a college student or a university student or a KMTC student, if you want to get this concept, there's this concept that is always disturbing you so much. You're trying to read it, to study it, you're not getting it. If you want to understand something, if you want to retain this content, you must repeat it. There's a part of the brain, I think it is called hippocampus, because brain has medulla oblongata, hypothalamus, all those. But there's a part of the brain called hippocampus. Hippocampus is the part of the brain responsible for memory. And I always tell people that if you want to enhance your memory, you have to repeat something more and more times. Just like you've talked about name.
Yeah.
For you to be named Linda, you've believed that name is yours, not because they gave you that name, but because people have been calling you Linda since you were young. The same thing to me, people call me Sam. That's how the name became mine.
Yes.
That's why I will not say that I name myself. You'll never say, I name myself Sam. What do you say? You say, I am named.
Yes.
You will not say, I call myself Sam,
Yeah.
or I call myself Linda. I am called Linda.
Yes.
I am called.
Yes.
You know,
somebody else did.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's read something about the hippocampus. You know, sometimes it's good to learn some of these things. So I also come out of this space, you know, with a new thing, and it's the hippocampus. It's a complex brain structure embedded deep into temporal lobe. It has a major role in learning and memory. I agree. It is plastic and vulnerable structure that gets damaged by a variety of stimuli. Studies have shown that it also gets affected in a variety of neurological and psychiatric disorders. But then again, I agree, like you rightfully put, it's about learning and also the aspect of memory. But even before we get to the other lesson that you have picked so that we can as well learn from it, you speak of a scenario where if I'd wake up very early, every morning, and somebody reminds me of how much they love me. And I know we're even told every morning, pray for your little boy or your little girl, you know, speak to them, tell them they're beautiful, and they will grow knowing that this. But at some level, the voices of the people sometimes would get us veering off from the plans that we've set. That, oh, you say now this year, I'll make sure that I get married, you know, and then you identify this woman, you bring them home, and everybody thinks, no, that is not the right woman. That is not the right woman. And so when they start saying this and you're thinking, actually, this is not the right woman. And then, of course, you veer off from your plan. You drop this woman. Getting another woman is another process. Before you know it, 2023 is here. You have not achieved that goal. Just what is the essence of listening to people? You know, how much can we allow for people to speak to us to an extent where they're not going to alter our plans?
If someone can check my TikTok account right now, of course it's Sam Vidambu.
Yeah.
There's a video, or your producer can do that. There's a video I shared, I think it was yesterday. And I think it's one of the videos which has a lot of a lot of views and all that, and even comments. I posted, and this is what I said.
I am on TikTok, so yes. Proceed. Proceed. I'm looking for that.
Yeah. Yes. So I posted and I said, don't let them know the cow that gives you milk.
Oh.
Because they will poison the cow, and they will injure the herd's boy. Stay low profile.
Wait a minute. Stay low profile. That's a very interesting one. Which is this one? I'm watching you go to your TikTok as well and check out Sam Vidambu. A bottle of water is sold by a hawker? No,
not that one.
Which one is this?
About low profile. I think I have pinned three videos. I have pinned 3 videos.
This TikTok, or this is now where this is my TikTok account. Yes. you have pinned them, or these are videos that you've pinned?
No, I have it's just among the top. It's just among, I think, top 6 among
Actually,
the
this is the
first
top.
6.
So, can you see?
I
don't know why my producer is not trying to give it to us, but it's fine. Let's try and see. So anyway, we'll be checking them out to see which one is with. There's that one of a bottle of water, then of your situation before you change it. That is the aspect of change. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so I'll just say it. I know the viewers will have a look at Sam Vidambu on TikTok, and I know they will follow.
Right.
Now, I said this on that TikTok video. I said, don't let them know the cow that gives you milk.
Right.
Because they will poison the cow and they will injure the herds boy. Stay low profile.
Yeah.
And then I said, act as if you can't afford bread and yet you own a bakery. Because if you tell them, they will kill the bakers and burn down the bakery. Stay low key. People can be animals.
Right.
That's what I said. Yes. And which is actually true. Sometimes your resolutions, you don't have to tell every person. Of course, it's good to celebrate achievements after you've achieved it. But it's not wise to go telling every other person that this year I want to do this. You know, it's 1st of January. Yeah. So you're going preaching, you're posting on WhatsApp status, Instagram stories, Facebook feeds.
I must do this and that.
This year I must get married. This year. Now you're telling people that it should be about you. It should be, it should be inside you. Telling yourself every day. You don't have to tell any other person. You have to tell yourself every day. This year I want to achieve.
But just how important is the word of that other person to you?
Of course, now you have to look at who believes in you. Okay. Because now you see when you post on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any other platform, we have bad eyes outside there. That's the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Not every other person wants you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So you have to look at the people you trust. Of course, there are some people you trust in your life. Every other person. So you look at this person that you trust. And then, of course, you now go to them and tell them, this year I want to achieve this. Do you think I can make it? Right now I am 120 and I want to come down to 70 because I'm not feeling comfortable. People are body shaming me. People are doing this. I think I want to come down to 70. Do you think that I can lose these 50 kgs? You know? So because this person, you believe in them and they want to encourage you, they'll tell you, yeah, you can do it. So what you do is you have to strategize how you're going to the gym, look at your diet, you know, and all that. So you have to look at whom do you believe. Before you tell anyone anything, you have to ensure that this person is there to encourage me and I also believe in them.
All right, Sam, allow us to take a quick short break and then we come back and perhaps look at some of the action plans away from the lessons that we have learned, because these lessons then would come in to remind us that tomorrow looks better, tomorrow looks brighter, and we can work on it. So after the short break.
Usiyakubalie maumivu ya misuli kukatiza ratiba yako. Kaluma Pain Balm ni dawa ya kusugua iliyotengenezwa kutoka kwa miche maalum ili kutuliza maumivu ya misuli. Kaluma Pain Balm. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Are you looking for a college that will shape your future career? At Candy College of Beauty and Applied Sciences, we offer advanced courses with personalized attention to our students. Come and get your diploma or certificate in cosmetology, hairdressing and beauty therapy, diploma in community development and social work, or certification in catering and accommodation operation. We also offer diploma in nutrition and dietetics and many more. All of our graduates have secured employment in the job market, while others have gone into entrepreneurship. What are you waiting for? Join us today. For more information on how you can enroll, visit us at the London Beauty Building, 5th floor, Taveta Road, Nairobi, or call us on 0726 031 109 or 0784 515 606. Facebook, Candy College of Beauty and Applied Sciences, or on Instagram, Candy College of Sciences. Our January intake is ongoing. Candy College of Beauty and Applied Sciences is the cutting edge college.
right, welcome back to the broadcast. And as we, of course, continue to look at what has played out in our lives for the better part of the year, we also look forward to a better 2023. And so it's only fair that you sit down and look at the achievements, look at what you've not managed to achieve, look at what you have achieved halfway, look at what you've not attempted to achieve, and see how you can adjust. And sometimes there are resolutions that maybe you do not achieve, but they no longer make sense, and so you drop them, pick new ones. And Sam is here with us. Sam is a life therapist, just taking us through some of the things that you can borrow from his own experience and, you know, general perspective for you to make yours a little better. So in about 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, the other three.
Okay, so we were at number 7,
Yes.
I believe so, and I gave out.
Tumefika number 7 haraka hivyo too. All right, yeah.
I gave out the point of mindset, whereby people should change their mindset
Yeah.
and see what they can achieve in their minds. Of course, number 8, someone has this should have the skill set, and skill set is very important. For you to achieve your resolution or your targets, you must have the skills. And just like you've said, skills are not just achieved through experience, but you can learn the skills from another person. For example, if just I want to use the example of losing weight, because I know many people are battling with that.
Yeah.
If you want to lose your 50 kgs, maybe right now you're 120 and you want to come down to 120. And of course, you've not lost any other weight before. Maybe you did come from 160 or 150. So you've been at 120 and you want to come down to 50 to 70 and you want to lose this 50. So you can learn how to do that from a skill that another person used. You can hear from another person telling their story. For me, I was at 120 or I was at 140 and right now I'm 90. I lost 50. I did this, I did this, I did this. So skills. For you to achieve anything in this world, any resolution, any target, you must have the skills. And of course, number 9, or rather we are now in number 9, I believe so. The other thing I've learned is that you must have a reward system.
Okay.
Reward system is very important.
All right.
We are approaching the end of the year. In case you had set a target or a resolution for 2022 and you've achieved it, it's good to reward yourself.
Okay. Now how?
No matter how small it looks, because
Okay.
rewarding system could be different.
Okay.
Maybe your target was so big. You see, a person who bought a car, maybe your target was to buy a car, you bought that Jeep, whatever it is, TX, whatever it is, or even a Vitz, whatever it is, any kind of vehicle. That was a target of someone, and they have achieved it. You see, that person could not reward themselves.
Yeah.
The same way with a person who wanted to, maybe let's say, lose 5 kg.
Okay.
See, the rewarding system will not be the
It will
same.
definitely be different.
It
yes.
will be different. So
Yeah.
someone has to look at a way that they can reward themselves. Maybe you can take yourself to Diani, you can take yourself even to Dubai, because you
So 80% of achieving that aspect of, you know, more finances for you, the reward must be big. Eh?
of course, I have my own reward,
Yeah,
but my reward will come next year
Oh.
when I'll be celebrating my birthday.
Okay, so that's
Yeah, in
early next
April.
year.
It will be in April.
April. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's pretty much early next year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Eh?
And of course, number 10, I
Yeah.
want now to conjoin these 2 points. Number 10 is that there are 3 things which are very important. And this is a quote which I've heard before. It takes 21 days to form a habit.
21 days.
21
to form
days
habits.
to form a habit.
Yeah.
It takes 90 days to change a lifestyle.
Okay.
Then it takes 2 years to form a culture.
Okay.
That is true.
And someone has to be patient and consistent.
Yes. So 21 days, like if you want to change your habit, for example, you have some people who want to lose, or not really losing weight, but they want to avoid, or they want to reduce alcoholism or drug abuse. So we have to look at 21 days.
Yes.
If you want to change this habit, you have to look at 21 days.
So maybe decide that you'll be hitting the gym. So you
Yes.
say 21
days at
constant
first.
discipline, hitting the gym.
Yes, of course we'll come. I'll also come to something called organization, preparation, and consistency.
Right.
You've just mentioned about consistency.
Yes.
And then 90 days to change
You
your lifestyle.
realize there.
So after the first 21 days of changing the habit, the next target you're looking at is
the
now
lifestyle.
90 days
Yes.
to change your lifestyle. And then after you've changed your lifestyle within these 90 days, you now look at the 2 years to change your culture to the fullest.
Okay.
Yeah, so those 3 things are very important. But of course, those are the top 10 lessons which people can.
And these are general
learn.
because we all agree that we have different plans.
Yeah.
And like you rightfully put it, even in rewarding,
Yeah.
you do not reward the same.
Yeah.
But they are all mirrored under one, perhaps, umbrella in terms of, you know, those aspects that you speak of that are very, very important. Something to do with consistency. Those are the generals, you know, something to do with discipline. Those are the generals in whatever it is that one wants to achieve. Could you speak something small to that?
Organization, preparation, and consistency. Now, when it comes to the issue of organization, and I want to challenge people, the viewers who are watching us right now, the number one thing they should do from after this show, they should go and buy a diary. There is no way you can achieve anything without a diary. You need to be organized, because everything you must work with numbers. There's no way you can achieve anything in this world without working with numbers. Numbers never lie. For example, and I want to come back to the issue of gym. We have those two guys, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleeping, then these other 8 hours. One person wants to lose weight from 120 to 70, that's 50 kgs. The other person wants to lose weight from 130 to 100, those are 30 kgs. So the way they are organized and the way they work with the numbers, how many times do they go to the gym? Yeah. That's what really matters. So that issue of organization, so you must have a diary to tell, I'll go to the gym tomorrow, 21st of December, I'll go to the gym on this date, on this date, on this date, on this date. You've written in your diary. When it comes to the issue of a diary, this will help you to know when you want to achieve whatever you want to achieve. When we come to the issue of preparation, someone has to be prepared. You know, preparation is now talking about how they are doing it. That means you must have the skills. And just like I said, skills don't really come from yourself or experiences. Skills can come, you can draw them from another person. And then the last issue is the issue of consistency. You must be disciplined. You must not just do something once. For example, if someone has said, one of my resolutions is to lose weight, they can just say, I'll go to the gym on 1st of January, 2nd of January, 3rd of January. Then from 4th until 5th, until 6th, 7th, they will not go to the gym. Then they'll come back to the gym on 10th and 11th. Then 12th, 13th, 14th, will that really make them to lose weight? Not really. They must be so consistent. They must keep on doing this thing over and over again. So consistency is what I call the frequency of intensity. Yeah. Someone has to do something very many times for them to achieve whatever they want to achieve. That's good. So those three things are very important. If they want to achieve any target for 2023, they must be prepared, they must be organized, and they must be consistent.
How do you manage to handle the pressures that come with the disappointment of having not achieved what you anticipated to? And I think most of the people are here, they're hitting themselves so hard, beating themselves up, saying that now I did not do this. Maybe it's because of just one simple mistake. If I did it this way, it could have been here. How do you handle that?
One thing I'll tell them is that I like pressure. Pressure is very important. Pressure is not bad. Pressure makes diamonds. I mean, pressure is important. Now, before any other person pressures you, you should be able to pressure yourself. And pressure should not come in the negative way. Because you see, just like I said, people should focus on the solutions, not the problems. But most people, they look at the negative side of the pressure. So I will tell them, in case they feel like there's this pressure to achieve this target, they still have next year. Right now, they have 1 week towards the end of this year. But that should not make them feel like they are losers. Not achieving your target for 2022 does not make you a loser. You still have another chance for 2023. Yeah. And that is what is very much important. The most important thing in the world is life. Because
once you have it,
you can achieve anything that you want. And I always say, it's not a matter of where you are right now. What matters is where you want to be. You know? Yeah. And I want to come back to the issue of TikTok. Yes. I like using examples from something that people can see. Yeah. When I was beginning it, when I began posting my videos, which was not a long time ago, around 3-4 weeks ago, when I began posting, I was looking at other people's accounts. They were having 40,000 followers, 30,000 followers.
You really want to get to that
and
overnight.
For me, I was having 1,200 followers. And I was like, can I really get there? What should I do? I mean, I'm too low. I mean, I'm looking at my friends, other big motivational speakers, the Burales, the ETCs. Look at them. These guys are having 100,000 followers and I have 1,200. What should I do? But what made me achieve it is because of consistency. And I know even where I am right now is not where I'll be tomorrow or next year. So I have to be consistent. I have to do it. Like constantly, for me, I post.
To feed you.
I post 5 videos in a day.
Wow.
Every day, I must post 5 videos in a day. A day cannot end.
It's a target.
It's a target. Now you see, again, I'm working with numbers, just like I said.
Okay.
So someone has to look at the numbers because numbers never lie.
All right. Yeah. Sometimes we miss it on the aspect of planning, like you say, and it's very, very important that you set your plans, look at the numbers, you have timelines, have dates, have budgets, and all this. Very, very important. It is that we say, well, December is coming to an end. The year is coming to an end, and maybe we have not achieved this, but we look forward to a fruitful year. What are some of the key things to look at as you sit down to set your plans, as you sit down to work on your resolution, so that you say, now 2023, I missed on this in 2022, but next year I'll do it different?
Okay, so just like I said, of course, every target or every resolution will be handled different.
Yes.
For example, someone who wants to lose weight, one thing they should ask themselves is, how many times will they be going to the gym? How can they check their diet? You know, because that's very important. About the issue of stress, how are they reducing stress and depression? Because I always say, expectations always lead to disappointments. Disappointments lead to stress. And then, of course, stress leads to anxiety. Anxiety leads to depression. And then depression might lead to suicide. So that is how it always goes. So again, this could affect the issue when if this person wants to lose weight. If they are stressed, of course, it could affect the issue of losing weight and all that. So in that aspect of what people should look at in 2023, it will be different based on the resolution that someone has. For example, if someone wants to have a better marriage, there are 3 things they should know. If someone is married, maybe husband and wife, maybe they are watching this, there's something a man should know. Men like women who are available. And this is actually very true.
Okay.
And women, okay, I'm talking about spouses.
Yes.
Men like women. So husbands like wives who are available.
Okay.
And women like men who are present.
Available and present.
Availability and the presence.
Okay. I thought that is synonymous. It's different.
It's different in a way.
Okay.
Men use their eyes. Women use their ears.
Okay.
So if someone is married and they want to have a better marriage next year, they must look at that. A man likes respect. A woman likes attention. That is the truth. So if you're in your house with your wife and you've never told her you look nice, that's a big problem. Women like to be told you look nice. Wow, that's a nice dress. You look nice, babe. When they hear that every day, they feel happy.
Keeps them going.
But now just imagine you've left your house, you are with your husband. Your husband never told you look nice. But when you went to the workplace, your boss told you look nice. Your workmates told you look nice. When maybe you don't have a car, maybe you're just alighting from the bus and the conductor told you, wow, madam, unakaa vizuri. How will you think about your husband? Because he never told you look nice. So ladies like attention. So if you're a man and you're married and you want to have a better marriage next year,
give that attention.
You must give the attention and recognition to your wife. And again, the other issue is you must criticize in private and praise in public.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you find people are married and right now they're having family gathering. So when they are in the family gatherings, a husband stands up and starts saying about how the wife is bad, how the wife should go back to their home. So that could affect the relationship. There's no way that can be outdone. So different resolutions should be handled differently based on what it is. For example, if someone wants to get married, maybe it's a lady. There's no way you can blue tick men and you want to get married in 2023. No, you talk to them.
You should be available.
Yeah. So you should talk to them. Don't ask them where you got my number and all that. And you want to get married. So you talk to people, you become social. If you're a man, you want to get married. Maybe right now you don't have a girlfriend. And next year, one of the targets is you want to get married. You look nice. You must look nice. You must put on some cologne. You must smell nice. The way you dress, you must look nice, So that, and again, you talk to people, you become social, you talk to girls, talk to people. Because someone said that you must kiss very many frogs before
you get to the right one.
I don't know if it's true or not. But
you don't know if it's true? Well, to a large extent, maybe it is. But there are others who just do it once and that's it. Yeah. And they're lucky enough. Yeah. Well, that's amazing. And I realize the time is moving very fast. We might not be able to touch on everything, but we appreciate the fact that there are a couple of things that we take home. So once again, before we call it a day, perhaps just to remind them of your TikTok. Maybe out of that, then they will get more lessons, and as well just how they can interact with you. And most importantly, what is the take home now that we are saying goodbye 2022, and we're looking forward to a better 2023.
Yeah, so as I finish, thank you so much for hosting me.
Please look at
Linda.
the camera. This is not your... Can you just please look at the camera?
Okay,
at
so this is my
these
camera.
Ones, these ones.
Okay.
I know you like talking from this point, but yes, these ones, yes.
Okay. So for the listeners and the viewers who are watching us right now, if you want to get me on TikTok, you go and search Sam Vidambu. Sam is S-A-M, Vidambu is V-I-D-A-M-B-U. Go and search me on Facebook also. It is Sam Vidambu. Go and search me on Instagram, Sam Vidambu also. Even my website, just go and Google search Sam Vidambu. And please ensure you follow so that you can get more of my content, which I always share on my social media platforms. Now, for the take home, I want to challenge you. From here, before you do any other thing, I will wish you go to the nearest place you can get a diary. Get a diary for 2023. After you've gotten that diary, on 31st of December of that diary for 2023, go and write there all the resolutions that you would wish to have achieved by that 31st of December 2023. Just list them down. Just write there because writing is very important. When you write something down, it comes into your mind and helps you to achieve it. That is why the Bible and the Quran are in written form. It is not, we are not given the Bible through stories. We are given the Bible because it's written. So that writing makes us to believe it.
Yeah.
So go and write on 31st of December, write there all the things, whether they are 1,000 things, whatever it is, just go and write them down. Okay. And once you've written them down, now come back to 1st of January. How would you want to achieve these targets? And that will help you to achieve whatever you want. So in case you want to get in touch, I can give them my phone number or something. The number is 0743 480 435. 0743 480 435. The name is Sam Vidambu.
Life therapist Sam Vidambu, thank you so much for speaking to us. Thank you for the great insights. This ones I know most of the times we pay for, but when we get it for free, we appreciate that aspect. And do not just get it, do not forget about it. If it means you're writing it down, please proceed and write some of the lessons that we pick here. Thank me later. If you're just joining us, don't you worry. We have this session running on our social media platforms. Very helpful for you to know how you close the year and how you open it in terms of setting the goals, in terms of setting the agenda, in terms of looking forward to greatness. It's the only way